Hey guys, what's up? This is X, and in today's video for ESO for Beginners, I wanted to talk about armor. Essentially, the different types of armor, as well as what kind of armor I think would be best suited for your character. But before I get started, I want to preface by saying that play the game the way you want to play it. These are just recommendations only. But at the end of the day, you do you. If you want to, play a saucer with heavy armor, just go ahead and do that. That's up to you. But like I said, these are just, recommendations only. As you're journeying across Tamriel, you're going to be picking up various types of armor. And there are three, of course, light, medium, and heavy. And depending on what class your character is or what type of build you're doing, certain types of armor work better for your character than others. So, and each armor type of armor has its pros and cons, which I'll show you here in a minute. I brought up my sorcerer. She's a DPS, and her abilities are mostly magicka based. So with that, I use light armor. And the reason for that is I will show you specifically is evocation, which I've maxed out on. It increases your magicka recovery by 4% for each piece of light armor equipped, which is good for me because if you, when you're using your abilities, whether it be stamina or magicka, when you're using them, of course, it's going to draw from, their respective pools. And of course, you do get some recovery, but the recovery is going to be faster if you have a specific type of armor. So in the case of this, light armor, where it has a really good recovery rate for magicka, it's going to be the right choice for me. Other advantages are, let's say, I'm going to be able to sneak better. I'm going to be able to move better, because I'm wearing a lighter clothing. The only, one of the disadvantages to having light though is like, so let's say if I use bash, let's say I'm bashing an enemy face with my forearm. Yeah, there's going to be damage there, but it's not going to be that much because it's basically cloth against skin, so it's not going to do a whole heck of a lot. I have seen people try to use heavy armor for sorcerers, and I would recommend not doing this, and the reason being is it's more geared towards tank classes. And as you know, or may not know, tanks are designed to not only lure the bigger monsters away from like the DPSs, but they're designed specifically to absorb damage. And if we go to like the heavy armor section, you're going to see that if once it's filled up, with the 2 points, it says 2, but once you fill it up, it'll be 4%. It's, increases health recovery by 4% for each heavy armor equipped. And you're going to need that if you're in the face of like, a really big, enemy, because you're going to want that health recovery, really quickly. I can understand the reason why people want to put, heavy armor on sorcerer because they're afraid that, hey, I might, it's going to protect me more and keep me from getting killed. But the fact of the matter is that you're going to die at some point, so you might as well just get used to that. And besides for that, if you're using like a staff, let's say you're going to be using some distance attacks, so there's really no reason for you to be up in the face of a monster when a tank can do it for you, or you can just simply do stuff from a distance. The disadvantages for having heavy armor are that it's going to, your sneak is not going to be as good because you're clinking around in armor, so obviously that's going to be a huge disadvantage. So your sneak's not going to be as good, your movement's not going to be as good because you're running around with something a little bit, you're wearing something heavier, and of course your dodge roll is going to be a little bit it's going to take a little bit more for your dodge roll because you're wearing heavy armor. Though the advantage is that it does, help, you know, negate, damage. Uh, and plus the bash is a lot better. So, where I had that example of where you're, the forearm against the enemy's face, that's going to do a lot more damage because it's metal to the face, obviously. So it's going to be a lot more powerful. Um, and of course, lastly, you have your medium armor, which I reckon, because if you take a look at, your light armor is going to be for, and medium armor is going to be for your DPSs, like your sorcerers, your night blades, etc. Whereas your tanks are going to be, you're going to want to have your heavy armor on that. But medium armor, of course, like I said, for night blades, it makes sense for them because, a lot of their abilities are going to be stamina. If you take a look at Windwalker, again, if you put 2 points into that, because for 1 point it's just going to be 2%, but if you put in the full 2 points, it's going to be 4%. So that's going to increase your stamina recovery. So it's going to make your your pool recovery a lot more, have a lot fill up a lot faster. Naturally, and of course, like anything else, it's going to have the advantages and disadvantages. Of course, reduces the cost of sprint by 1%, reduces the cost of sneak by 5%, or reduces the cost of block by 3%, etc., etc. So, why I think, as I said in the, at the start of this video, just, do whatever you want. And these are recommendations. I would advise you strongly just to take a look at at each skill for armor, and just see if it works, what works best for you. Just like I said, depending on what your build is, you might have something that's more stamina than magicka, or vice versa. It just really depends. But at the end of the day, it's simply you do you. But that's all I wanted to talk to you guys for today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have any questions pertaining to armor, just leave them in the comment section below. And I hope to talk to you guys real soon. Take care.